This is Mark Tronson from the Australian Missionary News. I have here today a very special friend, Dave Moyle. Dave Moyle is a railway buff, as I am. And Dave is one of the key person associated with the Stringybark Express Museum and Heritage Park in a little town which I cannot pronounce, but it's a bit like Waganya.
That's it, Waganya.
That's right, Dave. Now, Dave, when did this Stringybark Express Museum and Heritage Park begin?
Round about 1988, Mark. I arrived up here and moved up here to live, and I saw this railway sitting there doing nothing, covered up with weeds and trees, and I thought a bloke better do something about this, and I got a group together and we kicked off.
Oh, wonderful. Now, Dave, what were your group's main objectives?
Well, it finished up, Mark, that the tail wagged the dog.
I see.
Because initially it was conservation, because
yes,
the rail reserve was a remarkable repository, how do you like that, of river plains biodiversity. In other words, what the pioneers found here was on the reserve. So we wanted to protect that.
Yes.
Secondly, I wanted to protect the railway.
Of course.
Thirdly, wanted to get the railway going. And
now,
the trolley that pulls it is a W8 class gangers trolley, and
okay,
that goes back from,
okay,
that's the original vehicle.
Okay, now, you got two projects running. Now, what are these?
Well, the first one is that at the Waganya end of the line, which is now out of service, we're removing a portion of the track to turn it into a 2-foot gauge railway. As Tim Fisher calls it, a sugarcane gauge line, and that will become the Waganya Beach tramway, and it will extend from the current Waganya railway yard down along to the river. And,
wonderful. And
the second one is some of our members are very interested in light rail vehicles, interurban trams, and the Parry People Mover tramway items from England, and we'll hope to re-gauge from Rutherglen back to Springhurst to meet up with the new standard gauge,
yes,
that have been built, yes, and to run a commuter and tourist service between
wonderful
Springhurst and Rutherglen.
That sounds like, yeah, I might come down and have a ride.
Whether it will be done in my time, I don't know, but we're certainly the.
Okay.
I think
the Now, when did the On Track railway magazine, online magazine, start?
Well, it first started purely just as an association newsletter.
Sure.
But then it's about. It's now in its third edition.
Yes.
Not third edition. Its third year.
Yes.
And along the way, the management company, which operate the railway things for the association, decided to broaden the scope of, yes, the On Track and make it an online magazine dealing with everything on rail between Junee and Seymour and everywhere east to west, principally to keep people in touch with what's happening in both sides of the river, and also to be a sort of a support basis for the association. And it's now gone worldwide. Oh, it has. I get emails from all over the place, and people who refer it on, like Going Solar's magazine. I get all sorts of interesting, and they repeat it. They're always grabbing bits out of it and putting it in theirs, and vice versa. I had somebody who is a professional publisher who said that it's one of the best and colourful and bright magazines he's ever seen. Does he like Yes Minister Australia in it? That's been repeated. Now, some years ago, you've read one of my books. Can you show us the book? There it is, All Night Sitter. The All Night Sitter book. and I can't remember where I got it or how I came by it, but I was back living in my poor, now departed Marysville, where I came from, and I opened it up and I saw the testimony of Mark, and I thought, that's interesting, and I put it away after I'd read it, and I thought, well, fancy that. And then after we got it on track going,
Yes.
I thought, now, oh, that's right, somebody had given me a roadies newsletter, the truckies, they have their own Christian newsletter.
Yes, yes.
And I thought, all right, well, we can do that.
Yes.
And so I contacted Mark here and said, well, how would you like to write a column?
And I became the footplate padre.
That's right, the footplate padre.
So it went from 40 years ago when I was a locomotive driver, then I wrote 16 books about railways, and then I get this phone call, come and be our footplate padre writer.
There you go. So it's amazing how things kick on.
And we get, like you, many, many emails and communications over the footplate padre article.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Well, Dave Moyle, it's been a wonderful experience being live at the Stringybark Express Museum and Heritage Park amongst all these very famous and splendid railway wagons. And so this is Mark Johnson signing off for the Australian Missionary News as the footplate padre.